In this video, we are going to show you how to fix one of these mini fridges that has stopped working. These are the little tiny guys that hold 6 cans. I'm showing you the back of these two little mini fridges just to show you what problem we are fixing today. We are fixing the fan that won't turn around because likely the power supply has burnt out or gone bad in some fashion. You can tell the difference between the functioning fridge on the left, the black one, with the solid light. You can't really see the fan that's going around in there, but I can, as opposed to the mini fridge on the right here, the blue one, that has a blinking light. And then you may not be able to see in this video, but the fan is just agitating. It's not really going all the way around. That's the problem we're going to be fixing today. These are the tools that you need to do this project. You need a self-adjusting wire stripper, a drill, a power supply, a new one from Amazon. This is the Meanwell LRS-50-12 switching power. We are going to have links to all of these things below this video. Wire cutters, a drill bit that is smaller than the size of the screws that come out of the back of the machine, and a little tiny Phillips screwdriver. So we'll have links to all of these so that if you don't have these tools, most of these are a great investment, or maybe you can borrow them from a friend. Okay, I've unscrewed all 6 screws, and as you can see, I've set them aside here to use later. And so then you can take the back off, and you're going to probably find some dust on this that you want to clean off, and on here that you want to clean off. And then you're going to look at your power supply, and there's 2 screws here. I've already started to unscrew them, one here and one here, that you are going to want to unscrew with your little screwdriver. Okay, you're going to finish taking off the power supply there, and you'll notice underneath it there is kind of a burnt spot, which probably indicates that something wasn't going well. And then you'll see it's attached by 2 wires on each end, and we're going to cut those, leaving the maximum amount of wire available for putting into the new power supply. So as close to the old power supply as you can. And that's one end, and there's a second end here, as close as you can. And then we're going to strip off the plastic sheathing on those 2 ends. So you take your wire stripper tool, again, find the smallest part, and you're going to want to do about a 1/2 inch worth. You're just trying to get the plastic part off. You're going to do that on all 4 wires that exist. All right, so you've stripped your wires, and we ended up doing closer to 1 inch because you want to have enough to wind around the screw. And after you strip them, then you want to kind of twist the wires together, like Chris is doing here. So you're going to do that to all 4 of them. You'll notice there's one blue one paired with a red one. And then there's this is a different kind of tool that actually just cuts off the wire. It was working a little better for us, so that might be a different tool that you would want to use. And then this is your power supply, and you'll notice there's little letters by the different screws where you're going to screw stuff in. So first of all, if you'll move your hand there, there's L, and then N stands for neutral. We're going to put our blue one in there, and then there's a V with a negative. That's for negative, and then there's one with a positive. So those are the 4 spaces. So you're going to want to loosen those 4 screws so that you can then get the wire around the shank of the screw. And this is where it might take 2 people, one to kind of hold the power supply and one to do the winding. So we're going to unscrew just a little bit more so they fit under there. And then this is the one with the blue and the red, keeping the ends nice and tight. Do you need me to hold the power supply? Or you got it? Then you set the bare wire next to the root of that screw, and then you tighten the screw down so that they're attached, just like that. And you can see that burnt spot under the power supply there. Now we're going to attach the other 2 wires that were connected to the other power supply. There's a black one, negative, and a red one, positive. And again, just connecting right there. Screwing it down so it's tight. Okay, now we're going to test it before we attach everything back in, just to make sure that we actually hooked it up correctly and it's going to work for us. Okay, we're going to plug it back in. And then we're going to turn it on and see if that is working. Is the fan going all the way around? Yep. So that did the trick. Now we have to look, how can we attach that power supply back inside of here so that it fits? Okay, we've decided that the best place to attach this power supply is actually on the back panel. It fits right here. It doesn't come with 2 screws, but you have 2 screws left over from the previous power supply, and I have these over here. And you're gonna need to actually drill a little hole. So I didn't mention this tool, but there's a drill bit, and you want it just a little bit smaller than the size of your screws. So you're gonna drill the holes. There's only 2 places for the holes. One is right here, and then the other one is over here. So the screw will kind of just clip on the edge there. So we're gonna put it in the right position and then drill a pilot hole with the screwdriver, or the drill, sorry. And then we might go ahead and put the first one in so that we get the exact right spot for the second drill hole. And you're going to use your screw, this one right here, and your little tiny screwdriver again, which is a little bit challenging because they're super tiny. We'll keep working on that and come back when we drill our next. We got our one side screwed down, and then over here we're going to point out where we're going to drill our second hole. Now this is going to poke out a tiny bit out the back of it, but I'm assuming most of you don't have your refrigerators pointed with the back side out anyway, and it shouldn't be too far. Okay, we got that screw in right there after you drop it a few times because it's such a tiny thing. You can see now how it's all connected there. We're gonna put it back on. We are gonna test it one more time before we put all of our back screws on, just to 100% make sure that it is working before we go to all that trouble. So solid green light, the fan going all the way around, hard to see in the video, but yep. So now we're gonna turn that back off. Put our 6 screws back in the back, and you can see where that one little screw is poking out just a tiny bit there, right there, but you can sand that down just a tiny bit if you for some reason think it might poke you, but it's not very major. So the total cost for this repair is $13.62 from Amazon. Buying the power supply, that is if you have all the other tools or can borrow the other tools to make this happen. Thanks for watching this video.